conversations are you having with your Republican counterparts right now?
I'm telling them what they are doing is inciting the violence that we see outside, and how they can possibly think that this is good for our democracy. Because that's the argument they sometimes make. Hey, we have to do this for the sake of our democracy, to make sure that the election is safe and that we instill confidence in elections in the future. Well, they're doing the exact opposite. They're breaking the trust of the American people. They're breaking the confidence in our democracy, not just here at home, but frankly, around the globe. I think about how hard it was to bring democracy to Iraq. It wasn't a war that I agreed with, but it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And the only reason we even had a chance was because we and the Iraqis could look at the United States of America as a shining example of democracy, this city upon a hill that we've talked about for centuries in America and around the globe. But that image is being shattered right now by the images we see on TV of an attempted coup right here in the heart of Washington, D.C. So the damage being done by these Republican lawmakers is long lasting. It's not even just here at home. It will extend for generations, and it will extend around the globe.
I want to ask you, as you are talking to some Republican colleagues, and you are known as someone, especially in the ranks of veterans there on Capitol Hill, who has friends across the aisle, are you hearing, even like privately, are you hearing any self-reflection, any sort of remorse that it went this far, or that they didn't expect that it would go this far? Are they saying anything like that to you?
I am hearing that, Brianna. But, they don't teach you as a politician to admit when you're wrong. And whether or not these Republicans will have the political courage to come out and say that, I don't know. If you read President John F. Kennedy's book, Profiles in Courage, every example is of a politician who goes against his own party. That's the definition of political courage. That's what's required of these Republicans today. There's a few who had the courage to do that yesterday, to do it publicly. I know Representative Kinzinger, a fellow veteran, has already come out and said himself as a Republican that the 25th Amendment should be invoked. But we need to see a lot more political courage in Washington. People for years, since I've been up here, I've been here about 5 or 6 years, have asked me, said, why is Congress so stupid? How can Congress not believe in climate change, or frankly, believe in election results? And what I've always noticed is that most of my colleagues are pretty smart. It's not easy to be a member of Congress. What's lacking in Congress isn't intelligence, it's courage. It's just the willingness to admit the truth and be willing to sell that truth to the people that you represent, to explain it to them. That should be our job as representatives of this government. But a huge part of the Republican Party is failing in that job, failing in that duty to uphold the truth. And I don't know exactly where this is going to go.